Want to know what a real man would tell their lady about love and life? You're in the right place. This is Hello Ladies with Rom Wills. Rom Wills is an author, speaker, and proud father. Grab some wine, sit back, and enjoy.
Hello ladies, welcome to my spot. Look at your selection criteria. And I think I talked about this before, but it bears repeating over and over and over again. Because ladies, let's be real. Y'all can complain about the men all you want and say, oh, they're bad, they're this and that. But y'all still choose. It's your choice. You choosing the men that you deal with. I don't care how many men approach you, how many men you want, you still making a choice as to who you want to deal with. And that deals with your selection criteria. Every single woman has one. Now, people know me about me talking about select and non-select, but that's very general. Each one of you has an individual criteria as to who you consider handsome, fine, built, whatever you like physically in a man. What do you like emotionally about a man? What do you like socially about a man? All of you do that. All of you do that. But so many women are making bad choices. Is it the fault of the men? The men are just there. The men are just there. Because if you end up with a man, he's a bad guy. He didn't hold a gun to your head. Even if he love bomb you or something, you still making a choice as to whether or not to deal with him. And then how he even get in position to love bomb you or dog you or whatever. You made that choice, but you have a criteria. I talk to every single woman. They got an ideal. Every single one of y'all got an ideal man. Y'all have a select group. Y'all got a non-select group. You know, you got a group of men. Hey, if they present themselves, they got an opening. You give them a shot. You might even chase them. And then you got another group of men. They gets none no matter what they got going for them. Even if other women like them, they not a part of your criteria. If you having trouble, you got to look in the mirror. Let me say it again. If you having trouble, you got to look in the mirror. Because you can't just say, oh, all these men are bad, or all the men bad, or all the ones you want bad. Because here's how deep it is. A group of men you could reject could make great husbands, boyfriends, whatever for another woman. That's why I say it's individualized. Now, of course, there's some men who consensusly select. And, you know, that's part of your select too. But even then, it's still a choice. Even then, it's still a choice. And he might be good, but let's be real. We're talking about women making bad choices. I know a ton of women. Remember, a third of my clients are women. And I've been hearing from y'all for about over 20 years directly, indirectly all my life. And it's always the same thing. Oh, yeah, I got with this guy and he was so this and that. You chose him. You know, it was your criteria. He had the door. See, he couldn't even got to the point to dog you or treat you poorly if you didn't open the door. We don't bust the door down. If we bust the door down, what's it called? Rape. It's called sexual assault. But when I look at women who get dogged by different men, have bad relationships, every single time you let that guy in. And you can say, well, he said this and that. You chose to believe him. Because let me give you an example of that part. If a guy is non-select to you, he can hit you with the same lines and you still going to be like, bullshit. You still going to be like bullshit. Let me see something. I got to see how I look on here. Yeah, you going to be like bullshit. He can hit you with the exact same lines, word for word. And you be like, nah. You going to be like, nah, you know what? He don't look good enough. Nah. He ain't muscular enough. Nah, he ain't tall enough. Nah, I don't like his shoes. You know what? I don't like his education. Oh, he blue collar? Nah, he got to be a professional for me. Whose criteria is that? It's yours. Because the man is only going to be who he going to be. Seriously, he don't know anything about you. He don't know what your criteria is. He just know you look good to him because, man, we not that deep. You look good to us. We either approach or do something. We want you. We want you and stuff. So, you know, we're going to just go up anyway. But it's up to you to entertain us. It's up to you to let it go further. And y'all should know that. In fact, y'all know that. But here's a problem. A lot of women don't want to take accountability, responsibility for their choices. You want to blame the man. So when you got a bunch of women blaming the men and everything, it was like, well, hold up. Y'all saying this, but then you got a woman over here who got like good men lined up. This would be the same men, but her criteria is different. Now, here's the thing. I'm actually, like, I don't like using the word should, but I'm seeing I got to take it a step further. Y'all should adjust your criteria. You got to adjust it if you want to win. Because apparently, if you're having trouble, what you've been doing ain't been working. You know? And this is regardless of the man you want. But see, here's something else too. You got to be realistic with your criteria too. Now, it's reasonable. I've said it's reasonable. It's reasonable to want a man who at least got his own like car. It's reasonable to want a man who got his own home. You know, someplace to live. You know, at least take care of himself. Because if a man can't take care of himself, he can't take care of you. So that's reasonable. A man doing something, that's reasonable. Because as I tell them on my channel, a man's supposed to be trying to work to be sovereign anyway. So all I'm saying to y'all is deal with that man. This is a no dusty channel. It's like if you feel that man's dusty, reasonably dusty. I say reasonably because sometimes y'all be calling a rich dude dusty just because you don't like him. You just don't like him then. He ain't dusty. But I mean, if he's doing something with his life or something, okay, that's reasonable. Okay, you can have that. I would say as far as his looks, let's be real, ladies. Let's be real. There's only a tiny percentage of alpha showpieces out there. Now, if you reasonable and say, okay, at least fixed up, husband cute. Shout out Nicole Michelle. At least husband cute, decent. Somebody keep himself. Okay, that's reasonable. That's reasonable. All right. Now, as far as everything else, that depends on your personality and everything. You know, who you click with. That's reasonable. All right. That's reasonable. Because a lot of women get caught up because you might have some unrealistic expectation. You know, it's not reasonable either because of where you live or who you are, the type of men you could attract. And I've talked before about fixing yourself up. I don't have to talk about it here. But you do have to make good choices. You got to take a hard look at that selection criteria. Has it worked for you? Now, if it's worked for you, you've gone through some relationships, and you know what? Some relationships are just going to fizzle out. That's normal. You have two good people, but you know, maybe they're going in a different direction. There are relationships like that. Okay. If that selection criteria got you a generally good relationship and it just not even fizzled out, but maybe, you know, what y'all said, y'all going in different directions, y'all were adults about it. Okay. But most of y'all ain't doing that. Most of y'all have had bad relationship after bad relationship that caused a lot of pain. That means something is wrong with how you choosing. If something's wrong with your criteria, you need to take a whole cold, hard look at yourself and ask yourself, what do you really want? And what do you really need? Because honestly, me saying what you want, then it just hit me. It was like a lot of women want, the Superman, that Superman and everything. But you might need that dude who's going to be hard working but supportive of your dream. You might need that dude who's going to call you on your shit sometime. As a dear elder who passed away once said, sometimes the best way to love somebody is to curse them out. You might need that guy who's going to do a double shift on his job just so you can stay home with the children and be a proper mother to them. That's what you might need. You got to think in terms of that. Like, what do you actually need? I said one earlier, but I corrected myself. What you need. Think about what you actually need. Think about what you're doing in life. Think about the things that truly make you happy. Not the fantasy, what truly make you happy. And then you will start finding, because one of the things I found, women who actually go more in terms of pragmatic needs, they looking at the guys who can truly satisfy them, or tend to be the happiest. I want y'all to think about that, okay? Anyway, that's all I have for now. Get back with y'all ladies later. Peace and blessings.